Now, throughout all spring training, one of the players with the biggest spotlight on them has been third baseman Brett Baty. As a former first-round pick by the Mets back in 2019, Baty really struggled last season on his extended look in the big leagues with just a .598 OPS across 389 plate appearances. But this spring, Baty has continued to show improvement, going 12 for 48 with 3 homers, 6 runs batted in, 4 walks, 5 extra base hits in 54 plate appearances. Earlier this month, Baty opened up about his noticeable adjustments made in the offseason, working to follow through with a stronger top hand, using it as a guide to find the barrel of the bat more. Throughout still work-in-progress launch angle issues, Baty has shown a huge jump from his pull side at a 50% rate and landing in the top 10% in average exit velocity this spring. The 24-year-old graduated prospect is expected to be the Mets' starting third baseman on opening day later this week.
Respectfully, he was the worst starting third baseman in baseball last year. I was not encouraged by anything I saw from Brett Baty last year, virtually, besides his exit velocities. The problem is that all his exit velocities are on the ground. And, this spring training, we have seen him pull some more fly balls, I think 3 specifically that have left the yard. At the same time, he has a ground ball rate over 60%. I really do want to give Brett Baty a chance. I'm giving him a chance. That being said, I just don't know how confident I am that he's going to be able to figure it out this season. I know he's been working on making his left top hand stronger, and I think that should make a lot of sense and really help him. It could also take a lot more time than maybe we want for those new mechanics to really come to fruition. For a guy like Brett Baty to really succeed in the majors, I feel like there's a lot of things that have to go his way. Like, he hits the ball on the ground too much. He can't pull the ball. He strikes out too much. His discipline isn't great. He has a lot to work on if he wants to be a productive major league hitter. And it's just sometimes it's a bit hard to really rely on that to come to fruition when there's so many things that he did poorly last year. He was about a league average hitter in spring training, WRC plus around 100. So if Brett Baty's a league average hitter at third base, no, I'm happy. I think that's a lot better than what I'm projecting him for. I really want to see him succeed. I'm really rooting for him. I'm really giving him a chance. I'm just a little bit concerned. I'm not sure how realistic I think it is that he is our long-term third baseman. And on the defensive side of the ball, he struggled as well. I think there's just a lot of things have to go right. And, we've seen him pull more fly balls. We've seen his strikeout rate go down a lot this spring. We've seen stretches of him pulling fly balls. Like when he got called up last year, he was pulling fly balls, a bit of them. But still, we saw a lot of what we're seeing now, a lot of ground balls. I hope he proves me wrong, but I'm not sure how confident I am in Brett Baty.
I'm in agreement. The ground ball thing is still a problem. Even, last season he was at 50%. And like you said, right now he's at 60%. So it's like way worse.
Fluctuated sample, but
yeah, I mean, it's a small sample, but I mean, just the fact that it's worse is it's just not a good sign. Like I don't feel encouraged by it. I mean, even the hit that he got today was on the ground. He had a double play today. Like that's gonna happen when you're hitting the ball to the ground. And they're saying the ball goes, oh, but he hit it so hard. Yeah, it makes the double play even easier. So it's just like he doesn't with him, he doesn't have the speed to get away with it. Like Starling Marte's had a ground ball problem his whole career, but he's always had the speed to kind of get bailed out a lot of the times. I mean, listen, he had a bunt signal. Does that go into his ground ball rate? Sure, but it's also a hit. So I just think that he's not able to redeem it. Like if he's hit on the ground, like it's over. Like it's a rally killer. And we just had that discussion of like where he's going to bat in the order. And if Alvarez and Martinez are batting ahead of him, like they're not stealing bases. So those are a lot of double plays and just rally killers. So I think that, it is tough when you have that kind of problem offensively. And not to mention, like, he's just not a great defensive third baseman either. It's like we say, like redeeming qualities, like you're not a good defender, not a good offensive player. Well, why are you the starting third baseman then? He's actually the starting third baseman by default. It's that he's bad, but the other options are worse, so he starts. Like that's the kind of situation they're in. It's been a position of need for a while. He was supposed to be the answer to it. Has not happened yet. And they really need it to happen if the Mets can actually like take off. It's like I've said constantly, but I'm not asking this guy to be an all-star or anything crazy. I just want to be average. if you could just be around league average in the field and at the plate, we'd be good, because like we said, we have that top heavy of the order that is very good. So if he could just be league average towards the bottom half of it and just not kill rallies, he'd be fine. But if he's just not getting it done on either side of the field, like it's a problem. Like I said, we've seen him go to the minors and the ground ball rate's not nearly as bad. And you have to think about it too, is that like he's facing a lot of minor league pitching in spring training, and so you would think that the ground ball rate wouldn't be worse, but it actually is. And he, like Rhodes said, he's pulling more, and the ground ball rate is still up. So it's just like, even though he's trying to be a more of a power hitter, like it's still just not working. So it just comes to a point then where it's like, is it ever going to work out? And really, you just don't know. But so far, it hasn't been good.
You sure? Because listen, 3 homers and 54 plate appearances. That's a 36 home run pace right there.
Right,
so,
yeah, of course.
I mean, I will say one thing about Baty this spring. He does look better, but it's still just not good enough. And I think that that's something that we all really feel this is a 24-year-old former first-round pick. To see small margin of improvement as compared to last year, it's not really encouraging, but I will say that I'm glad that he's showing a little bit more to the pull side compared to trying to use the entire field and just let the wind take the baseball and have it drop onto the floor. Other than that, I think that if the Mets actually believe in him as the third baseman, there must be something as to where they expect him to just gradually get even better and show a little bit more consistency as he continues to play. We do advocate for that, obviously, for these young players to get their footing in the major leagues, to play every single day. It's not worth it for them to just be sitting on the bench for 3 days of 6 days, or get benched for 2 days, or play twice a week. I believe that he does need to get the playing time, but I do think the microscope is a little bit closer to him as compared to if Vientos were to get playing time every day. Ronnie Mauricio was healthy and he was getting playing time every day. Baty was supposed to be the guy. He was supposed to be the top guy, a first-round talent, and we have not really seen that. I think that the expectations are high for him, and whether it's gradually getting better, I'm just really confused as to how long they actually are going to wait. I mean, let's not forget, if Baty does struggle in the major leagues, he's not great at it, but Mark Vientos, if he's hitting in AAA, he could play third base. Again, you're sacrificing the run prevention that we like so much, but if he's in the lineup, he's not contributing and he's just not progressing at all, you're going to have to start answering some questions. And like Frank said, whether it is Alex Bregman or whether it is Eugenio Suarez or somebody on the free agent market, those guys have to also be in consideration. There's a strong possibility as to where Mark Vientos might have a majority of third base if Baty starts off the first 2 months as such a negative asset to the lineup and doesn't show any improvement defensively, which, again, another point, but I think that Baty, he's looked better defensively as compared to last year. I don't think he could have been worse, but I think that he was a little bit more focused out there at third base as compared to what he was last year. But besides the point, it's more encouraging compared to last year. But is it enough? I don't think so. I mean, we're at almost 500 career plate appearances for Baty, so we're getting close there to, a lot of Mets fans have talked about it, it's getting late early for Baty. I hope that it all does translate, because there was some promising data from him all spring training long, but we need to see some consistency from it. And if we don't, then we're going to have to start answering some tough questions.
Just go out there and prove me wrong. It's that simple.
Yeah.
He's been making a lot of adjustments, so I think we have to be a little patient as well, into the season. I'm going to give him till June until I really start to be concerned. Because, when you're testing out new mechanics, it can take a minute to really tap into them. So, yeah, go out there, prove me wrong, and let's win some games.
Same way with me, because, I've been just as hard on him, obviously, with the first-round expectation. And listen, I want to see him succeed, but, we need first-round talent from a first-round talent. I mean, that's just kind of how I see it, and we haven't seen that yet. So, hopefully, he can put it together, but can't really say that he's not getting the chance to do it, because he is going to be the third baseman on opening day.